endeavor to help us to do is to imagine that we're in 2016. So what I want you to do is to, as we go through this presentation, I want you to ask yourselves what you're about to see, if once it comes to fruition in 2016. Will this be the type of high school that helps the students at that time be career and college ready? What the Board of Education has charged the staff of doing is working with our partners from CSRS Girard and Grayson Hebert Architects and our affiliate architects, the DLR Group, to design our first prototype of a learning center that's designed to promote career and college readiness for students so that we can make them the most successful that they can possibly be. And what we're unveiling to you tonight is what that concept for this district will be.
I want to welcome all of you here for this very exciting project and this very exciting time in East Baton Rouge. What a great project and what a great opportunity we have before us. This is going to be a gem in our community. And we're so excited that you're here to see this launch and to be part of the visioning of this program and its design. So I want to say thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for being engaged in our community. And thank you for working toward a great education system for the children of East Baton Rouge Parish.
Again, what we have attempted to do is to design or conceptualize a new state-of-the-art high school. And this design will be based on 21st century design principles. And what we embarked upon earlier was to engage the community in a visioning session which led to the development of the guiding principles that will serve as the basis for how this project unfolds. These guiding principles are going to be what we vet every question about this building. This will be the lens that we vet these questions through. And the guiding principles are very, very simple. We want this to be a learner-centered environment that will engage every student. We believe personalization leads to creative collaboration. We want to actively see students have their individual learning needs met, but by learning how to work collaboratively with their classmates, with their teachers, with business, and with the community at large. We want to make sure that this is being flexible and adaptable are keys to our success. And that's not only just in terms of the curriculum and what we want students to do, but also in terms of the design of the building. Partnerships will leverage positive student outcomes. So we have to be very, very intentional about the partnerships that we need to create so that this school will help students to be career and college ready. And this has to be something that's sustainable. We need a sustainable site. We need a versatile site. We need a site that can pivot.
So what is a 21st century school? You know, what we're talking about is a technology-driven school with flexible spaces. The schools we went to, or I went to, maybe not all of us, with the corridors in the halls, cells and bells, won't exist at the new Lehigh. What we're talking about is really a collaborative space throughout the campus. You can go inside, you can go outside, and every space is a learning space. It's a totally different way of thinking about how we collaborate and teach our kids to make them better. A little bit about the curriculums. What we're proposing, or the board is proposing, is a digital arts, biomedical, and engineering. So when you look at the plans, you'll see there's 3 academies. Planning for a potential 4th one later down the line, but there's 3 academies that will be built now, and those 3 academies are planned to be this, and I know the board and superintendent are working on some partners, corporate partners that will be tied into each one of those academies that will be working with us to design the specialized learning space. So what we're talking about is really facilitating project-based learning.
We have the best students in the city. I say that to everybody because they make it really easy to work here. One of the things that's great about working with these groups of kids is that they are so fit for project-based learning. And what that is a melding of some real-world, non-traditional teaching methods to get across the same information. So a geometry lesson for us looks like a teacher teaching sometimes, but a lot of times assigning projects. So with doing project-based learning, not only will your students get an opportunity to dig deeper into the academic curriculum, but they learn real-world work skills in order to get to move into the workforce when it's that time more seamlessly.
What I'd like to do is just briefly kind of walk you through a site plan conceptually of what we're talking about. To get you oriented, this Lehigh is actually right here. This is a drive that will be students and visitors, that kind of stuff that are located along this side. You can see this side is the bus drive. 3 academies, 1, 2, 3. Each of the academies will house about 400 kids, and they work almost like its own school, decentralized administration. And, the Commons building and a black box theater. And then you'll see all these collaborative learning spaces as we zoom in and talk about, what we're really doing there to make the entire campus project-based learning.
So we purposely place these buildings at these different angles to avoid almost all of the oak trees on the site. None of the oak trees around the perimeter of the building, and probably 95% of the oak trees on the site are still going to be left intact. Also, this ravine you see down the center, that is the existing swale, so whenever you drive onto the campus right now, it kind of brings you down. So the academies are essentially your schools. This is where all of your classes will take place outside of your PE and fitness classes. So what you'll notice here is it's not like your standard high school, what we call cells and bells. You don't have a corridor with classrooms off of it. The corridors have actually become different opportunities for students to collaborate and learn.
One more point to hit on this floor plan is the idea that we talked about these 3 different academies, each one being a community based around a certain curriculum. And the other thing to mention about that is each one has their own administration. So there is a spot where there is a kind of a coordinator, or a leader, or assistant principal, or however you want to name it, but there's a group of administrators that are in this building. So you're really establishing a great connection between the student and staff.
So this is an interior rendering, schematic interior rendering of what the common space could be. So whenever you enter into the building, you'll notice there's different levels or different types of gathering spaces. On the right-hand side, you've got a small terrace or bench seating, so you could have a teacher standing in front of that with her entire class sitting there, but at the same time, you could have 2 or 3 kids collaborating or eating lunch. Right next to that, you've got a small table, and in the background, you've got bar top tables. So there's a variety of seating arrangements, a variety of different size spaces, but all of these are to create environments that students are comfortable in to promote that collaboration. So this is moving up to the 2nd floor. Whenever you come up the stairs, you've got your student resource center. So instead of having one large library that is for the entire school, each of the academies will have a resource center. This isn't your standard library. If you think of like an Apple store, that's what this is. This is not only books, but this is having access to any information you need at your fingertips. So laptops, Wi-Fi, students will be able to use their phones to access the internet anywhere on the campus. Moving up to the 3rd floor, again, obviously open project labs, eliminating corridors, creating a lot of collaborative space and not hallways.
And one other thing just to mention is there's a lot of outdoor connections, there's a lot of visibility, lots of glass. The classroom will have a lot of natural light. What we do know is natural light helps improve learning. That's a fact. And Andrew, you kind of point to it. There's exterior balconies on 3 levels, and one of you might want to say, why do we go to 3 levels? Well, first of all, we're trying to save as many oak trees as we could. So to reduce the footprint by going to 3 levels allowed us to consolidate the buildings a little bit better, and we think kind of make a more contiguous campus for each of the academies.
So this is, I guess, the approach to the site whenever you're driving up to the Lee High School on the visitor entrance. On the left-hand side where you see Lee High School, that is the black box theater we're talking about. So what we're trying to do is create an entrance onto the site. Once you get underneath the balcony, it really starts to open up. You see the academies and you enter the campus.
Program management. Talk a little bit about the next event in the schedule, which of course will be to take this to the committee of the whole and ultimately to get board approval on October 17th and move forward from there. As the architects mentioned, we're now in design development phase of design. We would like to advertise this project at the beginning of the year and of course bid it in February 2014 with the final completion be in January 2016, which means it will open mid-semester. The budget is $53.9 million approximately. That's the total budget.
Most importantly though, this is 2016, what we're planning. But in 2013, we have some excellent schools that are really doing some phenomenal work. So whether you're connected with the school in particular, whether you can go and visit a school, volunteer, mentor, there's excellent work going on by countless numbers of people, and most importantly, some pretty exceptional students. So let's support all of our schools, because the vision that we have for Lee is the vision that we should have for every school and every student. And with this community's help, we can make that real. Our goal is to be a top 10 school district by 2020. We are well on our way. We are seeing achievement gains in schools. We're seeing positive indicators all across the board about our district. This project it exemplifies that. But again, I can take you to any school, and it may not have the design features that we contemplate, but what's going on in those schools is just as impressive as what you've seen here this evening. So let's support all of our schools. Let's make sure that they all feel very, very special, because let's face it, they are because of the children.